The year is 1960. Bangladesh, then known as East Pakistan, was buzzing with the spirit of a new decade. The air was thick with hope and anticipation. People yearned for change. This was a time of great political and social transformation. The seeds of independence were being sown. East Pakistan was a land of rivers and paddy fields. Lush greenery stretched as far as the eye could see. The villages were alive with the sounds of nature and the rhythm of rural life. Dhaka, the capital, was a bustling city with a growing population. Life was simple, yet full of challenges. The majority of the population lived in rural areas. Agriculture was the backbone of the economy. Families were large and communities were close-knit. Despite the challenges, there was a sense of optimism in the air. People were eager to embrace the future. Little did they know that this decade would lay the foundation for a new nation. Life in 1960s East Pakistan was simple and revolved around family and community. Most people woke up before sunrise. They worked hard in the fields. Rice farming was the most common occupation. Families were large, often with several generations living together. Children helped with chores and attended school when they could. Education was valued, but not always accessible to everyone. Evenings were a time for family and neighbors to gather. They would share stories and listen to music. Traditional folk songs were very popular. Radio was a primary source of entertainment and information. Food was simple but flavorful. Rice, fish, and lentils were staples. People ate seasonally and enjoyed fresh produce from their gardens. Despite the simplicity, there was a strong sense of community and shared experience in everyday life. The 1960s was a turbulent time in East Pakistan's history. The region was a part of Pakistan, but there were growing tensions. People in East Pakistan felt marginalized and ignored. They wanted autonomy and recognition. A key figure during this era was Sheikh Mujibur Rahman. He emerged as a powerful voice for the Bengali people. He demanded equal rights and opportunities for East Pakistan. His charisma and leadership inspired millions. In 1966, Sheikh Mujibur Rahman announced his six-point movement. This movement called for greater autonomy for East Pakistan. The 6 points resonated with the people. They saw it as a path to self-determination. The government responded with repression. Political activists were arrested and silenced. The situation escalated, and the seeds of discontent were sown. Despite the political turmoil, the 1960s was a time of cultural flourishing in East Pakistan. Bengali literature, music, and art thrived. Writers and poets explored themes of identity, nationalism, and social justice. Traditional folk music remained popular and new genres emerged. Modern Bengali music began to take shape, blending traditional sounds with Western influences. This fusion reflected the changing times. Religious festivals like Eid al-Fitr and Eid al-Adha were celebrated with great joy. These festivals brought people together, strengthening social bonds. Traditional clothing, like saris for women and lungas for men, were common. Western fashion started to influence urban areas, but traditional attire remained deeply rooted in society. The 1960s in East Pakistan was a melting pot of tradition and change. It was a time of great social and political awakening. The cultural landscape reflected this dynamic spirit, setting the stage for the birth of a new nation.